Alright, hello everybody. My name is Bill52600. I'm currently the Rockport Speaker of the House, and today I'm going to be providing a guide and kind of a demonstration how to effectively write legislation in the State of Rockport for the Rockport Congress and State Legislature. Uh, this guide applies to people in both the House and the Senate. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one you're in, because both can present legislation, but if I have time, I may be covering some specifics about each house and what each house may deal with specifically, and essentially how to implement that. So effectively, in the in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to write effective legislation that will carry on, and basically won't get like thrown out if it's poorly written. All right, so as you can see, I'm currently on the Rockport bill template. Many of you have already seen this, but if you don't, I'm going to show you now. You can go to, hopefully that's showing. I don't think it is, actually. Give me just a second. Right, there it is. Alright, so, essentially, if you go to the House proceedings, which I will link in the description, obviously very lengthy, but if you go down to the section that says presenting legislation, the House and the Senate can use the same template. There's not really a difference, but you can just use this, and then it'll take me to it'll take you to my Twitter, and you can click. And then once it loads, you're there. Now, in this template, I have actually provided specific descriptions for each and every line. If you don't want to watch this video, you can just do that. But each comment will actually provide you with some detail on what each one, each line and each part of the bill template actually does, and why you should, whether or not you should or should not keep it in, and what you should change with it. So there's a template. You can either just make a copy on Word, or you can just download it as docx, PDF, text, TXT, whatever you want, and it'll work for you. For the actual editor that you want to use, I use Microsoft Word. There it is. I use Microsoft Word 2007. Obviously, kind of, what, 7 or 8 years old now. So, depending on when you're watching this, but essentially, any good editor will essentially work with this. It's just basic formatting. It's nothing major, but essentially, you're just gonna want to have a good editor. Even Microsoft WordPad, I believe, can open this. Let me just check this real quick. If you have Windows, you'll probably if you don't have Word, you'll probably just be able to use WordPad. I would recommend, most people have a Google account, so just use Google Drive if you don't have anything on your computer, text or document related. But Google Drive works just as well, and as well as Word Online or OneDrive. Those work just as great. So I'm just gonna do it in Word because that's what I always use for my bills. But let me just show you my actual bill folder. When you're writing bills as a representative for legislation, amendment, resolution, bills, whatever you may want to write, you should probably have a folder on your computer for them to store them. So let me just go ahead and give an example. 1 second. Alright, so just a second. I need to do something. Alright, so alright, it's kind of weird. Alright, hopefully that's showing up now. Yes, it is. Alright, so just a second. Yeah, put put that up on the screen there. Alright, hopefully you can see that vividly. But as you can see, I have my in my documents folder, I have a folder called legislation, and I have 4 different things. Okay, so I have Broadview, debate, Rockport, and USA. Broadview is from City of Broadview, debate is for real life, Rockport is for Rockport, USA is for NUSA. Alright, but we're just gonna obviously go to Rockport legislation. Now I have amendments, bills, and resolutions. So let me look at my amendments folder. These are all the amendments I've saved, at least. I've probably written some more, but a lot of this are saved in here. You'll see a lot of PDF and Microsoft Word files. I used to save them as PDFs just to kind of give a nicer look, but it didn't really matter because, you know, it didn't really, nobody can really see them. I used to upload them every single bill or amendment or piece of legislation I wrote up to Google Drive, where they could be viewed and stored easily. But nobody could really access it. I mean, there wasn't really much resource to it, but yeah. But I would still maintain these folders, and if you want, you can make a PDF just to kind of make sure if you ever need to see it in the future or make edits or work on it over a longer period of time, you can do that. So, yeah, essentially, if you should never really work on a bill unless it's like really short or like really simple, like once and then just leave it and then present it and try to get it passed. You should really try to work on it over time so that you can get all the feelings, all the all the parts that you really want in, and to make sure, because sometimes, if you write something now, you may forget something and then remember it later on, and you'll say, okay, now I remember this, I'm gonna put it in. So basically what I'm saying is that you should probably work on it over a longer period of time. But yeah, so this is my amendments folder. Let's go back. Then this is my resolutions. I've only got 1 actually, because I've actually only created this earlier this month, because I've never really written resolutions because they're very uncommon. And then this is my bill template. Make sure you have a lot of space in your computer. I mean, oh, hang on. So, I only have 3.81 megabytes of stuff here, so 42 files in my bill folder. But essentially, you're gonna want to make sure you have enough space and you're very organized in it. So, let me just go to an example. This one was the murder bill. Yes. This one was for when, if you can even see that, you can't. No. There you go. Wait. Can you see that? No, it's not. You can't. Hang on. 1 second. Sorry. Alright. This is the murder bill. Alright, so this was the bill that I used for actually making murder illegal. So yeah. Basically, it's kind of simple, kind of. I mean, when you write these bills, you gotta put some thought into it, because you'll never know how it's gonna be interpreted in a year or two, or down the line, because people are gonna be using this law, because there's not many laws that are actually repealed. So you're gonna be really wanting to specify things, making sure that's vivid and clear, and make sure that's essentially up to date and fulfills the needs given the time being, and what is essentially addresses what could happen in the future. You'll see that I put a lot of stuff in the first section. So section A is a basic thing. Section B, pretty basic. Section C, this was actually kind of a rider I put on. This was just basic housekeeping about oaths and committees and stuff. And then this one was for the Department of Education and Airspace, basically. And then section 2 is just who oversees it. Section 3, blah blah blah. Section 4, blah blah blah. And then sign my name. Alright, so it's kind of basic, but I'm going to show you my actual bill that we're gonna write now. So let's see. I'm just gonna go on Skype and say in the Rockport chat room, someone give me a serious bill idea that for a video guide to writing legislation. Sorry, it's pretty much live right now. So while we're waiting for somebody to respond to that, let's see here. Alright, so basically we're just gonna kind of get the basics down, I guess. Section 4. Indicate the time frame. So let me zoom in here. Oh, sorry. This is kind of large, so that's fine. Yeah, indicate the implementation / time frame. So most, if not all, bills should be implemented now, unless it's like very specific to something. So I usually just put down, this legislation shall go into effect upon passage. So what that means is basically, once it's passed in the House, the Senate, and it's signed into law, you'll essentially be able, it'll essentially just go into effect right then, because it's just going into effect upon passage, which means when it's passed, basically. Section 5, do not touch, because the thing with Section 5 is that, like, let's say it says, like, let's say we passed a law about 6 months ago that says you can only eat Krispy Kremes. Okay, so that's fine, I guess. But now we're gonna pass a law that says Dunkin' Donuts shall be allowed to operate in Remington, or people will be forced to eat Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so basically that's kind of conflicts with the other one. So because it's kind of the time, like right now, and because you're pretty much acknowledging that, hang on. Alright, so anyway, so you're pretty much just acknowledging the fact that it's kind of new, and, it's like the bill for the certain times. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's like, basically the bill that you're writing right now is for the times now, and that you acknowledge the fact that the law that already passed isn't really valid anymore. So this line will essentially say, even though it conflicts, we're just going to go ahead and say that the previous law is not passed anymore, and not a law, and it's repealed, and therefore we can pass this now, basically. Kind of hard to explain, but, yeah. But, essentially, okay, I got an answer now. Alright, so somebody said, or 16 said, a bill to end trespassing. So, with this, I guess, we'll just do this, I guess. But, we could say a bill to end trespassing is our title. But, sorry, just gotta get myself settled. Alright, but we could just say something more clever, kind of, like, a bill to... Actually, I'm pretty sure we already had a trespassing bill. That was, get off my lawn. But, that was kind of awkward. But, let's just call this one a bill to lay down the land, I guess. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Lay down the land. Like, kind of lay down the law, but not really. So, got that done. Section 1, or this line you don't touch because it's just formality and stuff. Section 1 is going to be something. Basically, Section 1 is essentially what you're putting in the bill, okay? What you're essentially saying, what you're essentially trying to, like, implement, and what is mandated. So we'll say any, how about law enforcement personnel shall be prohibited from entering private property unless called by the owner of the property in question. Wait, how about unless, oh, hang on. And okay, I just deleted it. Unless called by the owners of the property in question, or when there is an emergency on it. Property soliciting crime, or wait, soliciting endorsing crime shall be exempt from this law. Okay, so section 1, what that is kind of dumbed down to is police and law enforcement can't go on private property unless the owner calls them or when there's an emergency on it. And if that property is doing illegal activity on the property, then the police can go on and arrest them and do their work, basically. Alright, section 2. Law enforcement. This isn't really needed unless it's like really vague, kind of. But you can say law enforcement shall be defined as the Robloxian cops, quote, TRC, and the and the Department of Homeland Security, HOS. Alright, and that's pretty much it, because there's not much to define there. Alright, name the government agency that oversee. This is not really needed anymore because the governor kind of handles this mostly, but I mean, I guess we could add it just to kind of show. Again, this is not really needed because the appropriate people already enforce it anyway. So the Robloxian cops, you see, in Department of Homeland Security. Actually, I'll do Rockport Department of Homeland Security. Shall oversee and enforce this legislation. Legislation. So you already got that done. So that's pretty much it now. So I could say present respectfully to the House of Representatives, Speaker of the House, Bill 5260. Alright. So that's it, I guess. Lay down the land. I'll just save that. Lay down. Oh, I already got one that says lay down the law. But it's fine. Now, so that's kind of it. I mean, it's kind of basic. The whole thing was you don't. I want to point out something that I never really explained why we should implement this, because you're like the whole thing with bills and stuff is you don't really want to explain to people or in a bill why you support it or anything, or say like, oh, people are getting shot and we should do something. You don't want to say that because that's kind of a problem, I guess, and that doesn't really look good or really kind of carry much weight to people or law or whatever. I mean, you could do that in debate, or you can write a speech on it, do whatever, but you don't really necessarily want to essentially put that in the bill. All right, so that's a bill. I mean, it's pretty basic, but yeah. So let's move on to. Oh, I just closed the thing. Yeah, it's fine actually. So let's lay down. I mean, let's lay down. Let's move on to amendments. Actually, instead of just writing a new one, I'm just going to show you one because it's kind of easier, and it's going to save time, I guess, because we're already 20 minutes in. But let me go ahead and pull up this. 1 second. Let's just do Second Amendment. Alright. So this is called Amendment to Maintain Order, okay? So, you can't see it though. I think you can see it, right? Let me zoom in here. Yes, you can. Alright. So basically, what I did here was, I said, it's kind of the same thing. You just say an amendment to, and then line 1, same thing. Line 2, it says Section 1, the State of Rockport Bill of Rights Amendment 2 shall be amended to all citizens have a right, blah, 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 blah. So, you're pretty much just going to specify what you're amending, and then amend it, okay? So, kind of saying, nowadays, we kind of say C dot, let's see, what is it? Or BOR dot 2, and that's it. But it's in Roman numerals, but, you essentially want to just go ahead and specify it real quick. What amendment or article you're changing, and then put what's being changed to in full. So you can't really do line 1 blah 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 because that's kind of could be changed and you can't really predict that. But and then section 2 it says, oh, this one I kind of messed up on actually because I know I said like 30 seconds ago or 2 minutes ago that you can't really specify why. Yeah, this section 2 I would not add. That was kind of a mess up on me. And then with section 3 and 4, that was fine. Committee on National Security, you don't really want to do that because it's kind of just submitted to them, I guess. I mean, you can do that sometimes, but you're just going to want to do either Senate or House, either one, and then you just sign your name with your rank. I want to add that for bills and resolutions, for co-sponsors, you want to do chief sponsors, and then your name, and then anybody who else contributed or helped present the thing. And then co-sponsors are people that support it and actually want to signify their support and show that they're going to vote for it, basically. Not that they necessarily wrote it or anything, but just that they show support and are saying, yes, I stand for this and I will endorse it, kind of, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it for amendments. It's just changing it to whatever it is. Section 2, don't do, and the Committee on National Security thing, don't do either. Alright, and then on to final thing, resolutions. Commend developers, I did. That was the only resolution. This one, let me zoom in. Alright, so for this one, I did, this one you can be a little bit more lenient. I presented this about, it was actually the 3rd of December, is the 27th right now, but, with this one, you can be very lenient for, things like, saying, like, I know how I said for bills and amendments, like, I said that you can't really explain why we should do this, but with resolutions, you can actually do that, because it's kind of saying, we as a Congress, kind of accept this and recognize this and do this. So I said, whereas the developers for the State of Rockport and TRC have been more than helpful to the prosperity and growth of the State of Rockport, whereas the developers have received little attention, or some attention, respect, and courtesy, but have not received enough to fulfill what they deserve. Therefore, resolved, blah, 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 blah. I said, the Rockport State Legislature, also referred as the Rockport Congress and State of Rockport Congress, shall formally thank, hang on, I said thanks. Hang on, gotta do that too. Thank and recognize the hardworking developers, providing work for the State of Rockport and TRC. Furthermore, this resolution shall go into effect immediately upon passage. It shall be delivered to the owner of the State of Rockport and head developer. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, it's kind of like a bill amendment, but it's not really one. You're using big words, not like sections, but you're using big words like whereas, therefore, furthermore, establishing. So you could basically say other things like resolved, recognizing, condemning, commending, basically things like that. And then you say, I said up here, chief sponsor, Bill Representative Bill 566, and respectfully submit to the House of Representatives. So kind of basic, but it's more like oriented to where you're recognizing something and then you're making a stance on it. So with resolutions, you're not really gonna. There's some times where you're gonna be like, it's mostly just recommending things, I guess you would say. But in real life, it might be something like, whereas the China people, North Korea has kind of been mean and stuff, and then you could say, therefore, a 10% tax shall be put on North Korean products, which, isn't really a thing because we don't import them. But anyway, I think you get the point. It's more of a recommendation and kind of taking small action on it. It's not really a law, I would say. It turns into a law, but it's not really credible enough to be like a bill, I guess, basically. It's kind of like taking a stance as a Congress. So, that's pretty much it. I've kind of taken up, 27 minutes so far. So I'm just going to go ahead and close up with that. Thank you for watching. I hope this kind of helped out a little. Sorry it was so long, but you basically want to like make your bills very thorough, very precise, and sorry, and very accurate. So thank you for watching. It's been I'm Speaker of the House, Bill 560. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you a little bit. All right.